Okay, this is stage number 2, and as I mentioned before, that the United Nations figured out that the independent bloc, which is 80%, 85% of the Eritrean pro-independent. So the British, Haile Selassie, and all their followers and the Orthodox Church leaders, Ashdimetros, Abuna Marcos, they all been in shock. And that was a big victory for Eritrea in the 40s and 50s. They spend a lot of money. They start buying people around, and they went wild against our society. In the highland, start killing people, terrorizing people through what we call shufta, gangs, all over the highland. And they came down to the lowland, and they, even when the delegation have to go to United States, there was 2 person representing. One represent, he have the permission to go to United Nations to debate about Eritrea. One is Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan, the other one which represent the Eritrean Independent Bloc, and Talla Bayru, which represent the Union Party with Ethiopia too. So they start, before they leave, they assassinate one of the key figure at that time is Shahid Abdul Qadir Kabire Ibbal. And even Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan being exposed to so many times for assassination. So moving through that, let's go ahead now, how the revolution started. So on the late 58, when imprisonment, terrorizing Eritrean people all over the country, the highland, the lowland, everywhere, and the Ethiopian army start, they have a deal with the British. So the Ethiopian army, okay, sorry about that, I jumped one thing, that the Eritrean, when the union with Ethiopia fail, they suggest to put another resolution which should divide between Sudan, Ethiopia, to divide Eritrea. That one failed too. And thus loss of history behind that. And the man who's running the show, Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan, with his friends, they defeat all these resolutions. So the United Nations, with the influence of British, American, they win the Second World War and they control the United Nations. They dictate on us a resolution. They call it a federation between Ethiopia and Eritrea. You can read about it. So when they did that, Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan, he said it clearly in the United Nations that if Eritrean people they don't get independent, the whole region of Horn of Africa will be bloody war, none end. He predicted that, and it happened. Anyway, so all of a sudden, they reach information that they're looking for him to assassinate him. So he left in a matter of hours. He said bye to his wife and son and left. Left to out of Eritrea to Sudan, and then from there as political refugee in Egypt. But before he leave, at the same time, you know, this show you the political maturity of the people who's running the politics at that time. The formation of Islamic League to bring the mass of the people against the conspiracy of the British and Haile Selassie, you know, the resolution for uniting Ethiopia with Eritrea. Everything goes secret without even the British at that time. They were ruling Eritrea, and then when they found out, but everything goes from Dankalia to all over Eritrea, as I said before. When they make sure that the Union Party was set, ready to go, they opened the door for formation of parties, formation of political parties in Eritrea. So that's preparing for the United Nations delegation to come and to finish the job, so the British can go and the Ethiopian can come. But the problem is the Ethiopian army start coming and invading Eritrea. They took all the airports, ports, railways, cities, everything. They get rid of Eritrean flag, they raise the Ethiopian flag, constitution replaced with the Ethiopian constitution. At this time, the Eritrean people, national people, the people who have the roots on that land, in this land, they figure out it's an occupation. With all I mentioned, the terrorizing and every terror they spread all over Eritrea, it was really a bad situation at that time. So when Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan knew that he had an information for sure that they are after him and he's going to be assassinated, he went outside. Why? To represent the cause of Eritrea from outside. And there was connection between him and Hamid Idris Awate, because Hamid Idris Awate, a Shaheed, the murderer, he was well known in Barka and Gash and Seitit. He was a man of the people because he was defending the people against the Tigray, which they come and rob the animals from that region. So he will go with his friends, chase them, and bring back, return whatever they steal. So he have a good name, and there was communication between them for years, and they make an agreement. Okay, so there is a big conference happen with all the Eritrean independent bloc, thousands of people, and the head of every Eritrean community there and parties, that they give the authority for Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan to represent them outside, because they know the revolution will start. So he will be outside, you know, talking to the nations about what happened, and he have the permission, as I said, to go to United Nations, you know, to discuss what happened. But they ask him, after they give him the, you know, what you call like full vote to go outside, they ask him to choose somebody to help him because he's alone. So he choose one person they name Idris Muhammad Adam, Sheikh Idris Muhammad Adam, to help him. At the same time, the revolution was already prepared. The agreement between Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan and Hamid Idris Awati was already set, and Shahid Awati, he was following, because he was Italian soldier too. He was following the condition, and everybody was upset. And he was many times chased by the British for his intention. So Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan left the country in 1961 September, and he gave his own gun, pistol, and some ammunition as a goodwill for Hamid Idris Awad and revolution. His own personal pistol, whatever you call it. And he left, and that's how the revolution started. For those people along the years, and educated people, they used to call Hamid Idris Awad Shifta. You think about that. This man, he sacrificed his life, and he left his kids and family exactly like Ibrahim Sultan. He left Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan, he left his son and wife, and when the Ethiopian came, they imprisoned his wife. And this is for the history, people, they don't know. They start torturing her by distinguishing the cigarette in her chest. All her chest burned with the cigarette butt. And this is a man who sacrificed for Eritrea. It is the last breath. So the part of Kabasa, one part, and for all those claim education, doctorate degree professors, those people, you can have a certificate, you can have diploma, you can have professor degree. When it comes to the national issue, the evaluation is different story. Personally, I don't go by what you have what you achieve in your life, that's yours. But I just warn the young generation of Kabasabi, this is what happened. They have to be careful of those people, because you cannot be bitten by the snake many times by this, you know. One time is okay, but not 2 times, 3 times. There was a big conspiracy and big plan to demolish ELF. The plan starts from 66 and up. And that plan was planned by the British, that this Jabha, the sentiment they put Islamic and the church Islamic, so everybody they give it Islamic, but it was not. So if you see when the Mengistu Haile Mariam took power over Haile Selassie, the people from Kabasa, they start, joining the ELF. And what happened here, some of those elite, which they have university or high schools, I'm not talking about the general public, the normal people, they have nothing to do with that. Those people, they came few. They came with a purpose to dissolve the ELF in their heart. They know themselves, and they steal in the West, lots of them. They didn't respect, because they follow anyway some agendas, external agenda, whatever you call it. Those people, they went inside the Jabha, and then son of Talabairu came to Jabhat Tahrir, which is ELF, and he infested what they call the communist ideology. And those who belong to him, which been recruited from Asmara, they work with him. Also some Muslim joined them. Let's put it clear on that. I'm not afraid to say that the truth is the truth. And those people, they don't even know. They go by the sweet words, democracy, justice, equality. And instead of building on the base of ELF, no, they have to demolish it to their own interest, because they won't take leadership. And while the ELF, they're being judged, they judge ELF as unfairly. Amamit, Jabaharadit, that was everywhere we hear it, because there is a plan inside. The people who failed in the 50s and 40s, they came back again, but with different form and different shape and different masks. And they've been able, while the army leaders focusing in Ethiopia and fighting to protect the Eritrean people, and it was a war, material war. man to man, weapon against weapon. So their focus was in the military aspect in Ethiopia. But those guys from the back, when they come, the number was high, so they use the simple people, uneducated people from Kabasa, and some of those guys, as I said before, hypocrite and opportunist, and they infest the ideological part, which is a communist, Marxist communist, and by that they create contradiction inside the body of the ELF, and from then start the split, division from 70, 69, 70, 71. Okay. Now this split affect the Bani Amir, the majority of Eritrea at that time. They speak, even the Highlanders, they speak, lots of them, they used to speak Tigray. Afar, they used to speak, Dankali used to speak Tigray. But the purpose is when Hizba Hailitat Bahal form, it was in the expense of the Bani Amr people. So the Barka and Karan and all this become separated, like the Sahel and some are being separated from the roots here. And this by itself create, disparity and lose of hope, and finally, they form whatever they are. The people who's running the show in Asmara today, through that they use the Hizba Hailitat to split those people, and then they form the TPLF, which lots of you guys, maybe you have a background about it. In Jabha, people, they come voluntarily to join it. In EPLF, you are under control. It's by force. And so many people, they just go, they lost their life in vain. The conspiracy inside ELF was big, and slowly people, they will join, like lots of brigade leaders, they will be vanish, they will be sent into task, and they don't come back. They say, they تسوي lots of them. But people at that time, even fighters from the EPLF, they wake up now. They wake up now, and they're looking for the truth. So who take the first hit from Ethiopia? It is a lowland, up to 74. And the Ethiopian idea was, when you have a spark, before it's spread all over, you have to stop it right there. So the lowland people, they suffer all kind of suffering. Destruction, burning villages, killing women, children, they took all the hit till the revolution started standing on their feet, growing, people joining from all over Eritrea, and we end up with independent. people, they ask, what was the purpose of this war? The purpose of this war, it was free land, and people. Because what's a country? Country is a piece of land, and people live there. One way or another, I don't want to talk about that. 1991, we pushed the Ethiopian, we defeat them, and we got independence. For the last 30 years, from what I see, from all the videos I see, from the Kabasa people, they are waking up now. There is all over Eritrea, no freedom in a general meaning. Freedom of movement, freedom of press, freedom, all. Okay? Imprisonment, that's another big file. And you have in 30 years, small country like that, no infrastructure, basic infrastructure, no economy, no development, no schools, in a broad meaning, no universities, no media except one, no everything. For 30 years. And the sad part is, a lot of those people who's talking today or showing themselves as a rescue team, they are the one who supported and built EPLF. But they didn't get what they want. They're coming back now criticizing this and this and that. Who suffer more? You've been educated, you have Dr. Degree, you have a professor, and this and that. Because you don't have initiative, you don't have it inside you. If you don't have it inside you, being Eritrean mean nothing. So the youth, Eritrean youth, please, this is some of the big titles in our history. I don't talk about details. We have to break the barriers, like the way you live in the West or anywhere. Strive for freedom of your own people. Break the barriers, communicate with each other. Okay, because you are the future. You are the present and the future, and we are the past. And we have to admit that when they argue the unionized party, Union Party, and the British and the Ethiopian, the argument was these people of Eritrea, they don't have a sustainable infrastructure and the economy to form a country, so they have to unite with Ethiopia. What's happening today? Same thing. Same thing. So, in my opinion, the revolution being stolen long time ago. And people, they wake up now. What are we gonna do? Don't fall into the same trap again by other people. They won't replace the regime to take over. Education means nothing. We need Hagarawi education from inside you. From Dankalia, from Kabasa, from Sahel, from Gash, from Barka, from Karan, Samhar, all over. The best of you make sure the best of you to lead this stage. Be vigilant, and the country is yours, and it is a resourceable country. It's a beautiful country, and we should be proud of our diversity. Our culture is too close to each other. All Eritrean, region and tribe and this and that. It's like you go into a garden. You don't want to see one type of tree or one color. This is advantage, and this is the strengths we have. I say at the end, I hope that I give some incentive and some information to the young people and unite together, and don't fall again into the same trap. Okay? And finally, I ask to forgive me if I make mistake here and there, and I wish for all of you all the best. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi